Go ahead. Enjoy this moment. It's not every day you graduate. You've earned this.
Lectures, assignments, labs, pracs, the late nights and so many 2-minute noodle meals.
And the breakthroughs and triumphs that made it all worth it.
Yes, your course is over, but for you and CQUniversity, something new awaits.
Welcome to CQUniversity Alumni. The skills and knowledge you've gathered at CQ Uni will go with you into your next phase and beyond.
As a graduate of CQ Uni, you're automatically an alumni member. And with more than 100,000 graduates around the world, you'll find our alumni community there each step of the way.
Leading, innovating, caring, building, contributing to their communities and industries.
With your new TAFE or university qualification, whatever you choose to do or wherever you go, your CQ Uni alumni community is here to help you.
Through mentoring from experienced graduates in your field.
With career guidance, short courses and professional development, online and in person.
And with inspiration through B Magazine and Mortarboard, your alumni e-newsletter.
We're proud to have played a role in shaping your future and hope you can continue to play an important part in shaping ours.
By volunteering.
By supporting current students.
By hosting interns.
Or by being a mentor.
Whether you choose to access our support or support the students following in your footsteps, there are so many reasons to be involved.
But right now, the best thing you can do is choose to stay connected. Keep your contact details up to date so you don't miss out on opportunities and events.
At enrolment, you joined the CQ Uni student cohort. Now you've graduated.
Welcome to your CQ Uni alumni community.
I climbed that wall, I had one look, but you just came around to say hello. The streets were filled with guilty hearts.
Go ahead. Enjoy this moment. It's not every day you graduate. You've earned this.
Lectures, assignments, labs, pracs, the late nights and so many 2-minute noodle meals.
And the breakthroughs and triumphs that made it all worth it.
Yes, your course is over, but for you and CQUniversity, something new awaits.
Welcome to CQUniversity Alumni. The skills and knowledge you've gathered at CQ Uni will go with you into your next phase and beyond.
As a graduate of CQ Uni, you're automatically an alumni member. And with more than 100,000 graduates around the world, you'll find our alumni community there each step of the way.
Leading, innovating, caring, building, contributing to their communities and industries.
With your new TAFE or university qualification, whatever you choose to do, or wherever you go, your CQ Uni alumni community is here to help you.
Through mentoring from experienced graduates in your field.
With career guidance, short courses and professional development, online and in person.
And with inspiration through B Magazine and Mortarboard, your alumni e-newsletter.
We're proud to have played a role in shaping your future and hope you can continue to play an important part in shaping ours.
By volunteering.
By supporting current students.
By hosting interns.
Or by being a mentor.
Whether you choose to access our support or support the students following in your footsteps, there are so many reasons to be involved.
But right now, the best thing you can do is choose to stay connected. Keep your contact details up to date so you don't miss out on opportunities and events.
At enrolment, you joined the CQ Uni student cohort. Now you've graduated.
Welcome to your CQ Uni alumni community.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I ask that you please turn off mobile phones for the duration of the ceremony. Could I also ask that you refrain from standing in the aisles during the ceremony, as we need to keep these areas clear for health and safety purposes. Please identify your closest emergency exit. In the case of an emergency, please use this exit and take all directions from venue staff. Can you now please stand and welcome our official party? Please remain standing for the Australian National Anthem and join us in singing the first verse. Can I ask gentlemen to please remove their hats, bonnets and mortarboards at the start of the National Anthem. Please be seated. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Melissa Mistel and I'm the Master of Ceremonies today. Graduates and guests, welcome to this graduation ceremony of CQUniversity Australia. We ask that all graduates please remain in their seat for the duration of the ceremony. I would like to make special welcome to Mayor Margaret Strelo, Visiting Principal and Vice-chancellor of the University of the West Scotland, Professor Craig Mahoney, Emeritus Chancellor, the Honourable Justice Stan Jones AO, our Outstanding Alumnus of the Year, Mr Jason Titman, and the many donors, partners and community members here today. At CQUniversity, our graduation ceremonies are all about the celebration of achievement. We would love you to cheer out loud as your friend or family member crosses the stage today. You will notice that the University Mace is located on centre stage. The mace is a symbol of the authority of the Council of the University and signifies the University's responsibility to work for the sustenance of our present world and to ensure that our future generations are not disadvantaged but enriched by our efforts. I would now like to ask Mr Robert Mann to deliver the Welcome to Country.
Thank you very much. It's a great honour to be here this afternoon. First of all, I'd like to acknowledge Mayor Strelo that's with us, and also I'd like to acknowledge Chancellor, Vice-chancellor, members of staff, also the students, especially the students, and distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Robert Mann. I'm one of the traditional owners, one of the elders, native title holder of this area. So it is with great pleasure that I give a traditional welcome on behalf of the custodians of the land and the Darumbal people, and to those who are graduating today, and to their families and to their friends. I also acknowledge our elders and your elders, past and present, and our emerging elders, leaders. Today, graduates will receive your degrees that makes the past 3 or more years worthwhile. After those sleepless nights, missed parties, even times you thought of deferring. But through blood, sweat and tears, you've made it. Education is taught in our universities, especially CQU University, according to the guidelines, etc. In Aboriginal and Islander culture, education is handed down by elders. Young boys are taught survival skills, hunting skills and tool-making skills. The young girls are taught by the mothers of gathering skills and all other types of skills. Later they are taken away, the boys are taken away by the elders and the girls by the mothers to be initiated for those that go through, that graduate, they will receive markings or scarring on their bodies through an initiation ceremony. Boys will come back as men, the girls will come back as ladies, with their markings and their scars that's equal to the degree that you will receive today. That's proof that they have or you have passed the test. So wear your scars with pride. To all the graduates, congratulations. Follow your dreaming. For those that are going back to their homelands, wherever they go, we say farewell to them. And for those that remain, we say welcome on behalf of the Darumbal country and the Darumbal people. Also, we were to have our dancers, our Darumbal dancers, but they're not available today. The RNTBC, they weren't able to perform their dancing today, the Darumbal dancers. Melinda, who today is receiving her reward, her graduation today, she's also a great South Sea lady of her culture, one of my daughters. And she's also a great Darumbal person. And so she has two customs, her Darumbal, traditional Indigenous culture. She also has a great heritage in the South Sea. And so because we couldn't have the Darumbal dancers to perform here this afternoon, we have a surprise for her. So I'd like to introduce the Van der Tour dancers all the way from Gower Island to perform. They got one more. They are traditional, straight from the island of Goa, where my mum come from. They got one more. Some of them boys haven't seen a city before. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mann, and to the dancers. As Mr. Mann said, his daughter Melinda is graduating today with her doctorate, so we understand this is a very proud day for you and your family, so thank you for sharing it with us. I would now like to invite our Chancellor, Mr. John Abbott, to deliver the address of welcome.
Thank you, Mel, and welcome everybody. Robert, that was fantastic. Being a frequent visitor to Vanuatu myself, the Goa dance is a representative of a very strong and powerful culture, and I thank you very much for sharing that with us today, and I hope, Melissa, you got a kick out of that. I know it was a surprise to you. I'd like to welcome all of you today. Mel's already mentioned our special guest, Emeritus Chancellor, the Honourable Justice Stan Jones, AO, our Deputy Chancellor, Dr. Robin Bitchentham, as well as many council members who are here today for a council meeting tomorrow. Our Vice-chancellor, Professor Nick Clump, and normally, as I said at lunchtime today, one Vice-chancellor is enough for any graduation, but we've actually got two here today with Professor Craig Mahoney, the Vice-chancellor of the University of Western Scotland, here today as well. Welcome as a visitor to see how things should be done properly. I'd like to also acknowledge our guest speaker and alumnus of the year, Jason Titman, who will be introduced more fully later. Mayor Margaret Strelo is here. Margaret's a great supporter of this university, and that's a recognition that Rockhampton is the centre of the CQUniversity universe. I'd also like to acknowledge the traditional owners of the land that we're having this graduation ceremony on today, the Darumble people, but also to acknowledge the traditional owners of all of the lands where CQUniversity has a presence, which is throughout Australia. This land is, was and always will be Indigenous land, and I acknowledge those traditional custodians and their elders past and present, and as a university I commit ourselves to assist in the development of the leaders and elders of the future. In this ceremony we'll be actually presenting 5 Indigenous sashes to Indigenous graduates today. We've already heard about Melissa, who is the first Darumble woman to achieve a doctorate at this university, but there'll be 4 others who will join the over 720 Indigenous graduates from CQUniversity, and hopefully some of those will become the emerging leaders of the Indigenous community in the future. I am delighted to welcome you here to this graduation in Rockhampton. It's the first of the end of year season, I guess, that we'll be having many more later, Brisbane, Sydney, Melbourne, later in the year, and another 2 here in Rockhampton. So Rockhampton is the host city for CQUniversity. We are a major contributor to the region, the economy of the region, but more importantly, it's where the best and the brightest of the region can study without having to leave our region. And we are committed to growth here in this city. And I just should make a note that during the election campaign, the Prime Minister visited Rockhampton and made a commitment for $30 million investment in CQUniversity for the School of Mining and Manufacturing, most of which will be spent here in Rockhampton, some in Gladstone as well. But that underlies the importance that even the government sees in the development of this university in this region. To the graduates here today, there are 168 of you. This is your day of celebration, your day to celebrate your achievements, and it's a day which you will all remember for the rest of your life. You are graduating from one of the best universities in the world, in the top 2% of universities. And with the globalisation of every field of endeavour these days, you are graduating with a global qualification. So not only be very proud of what you have achieved and what we are celebrating today, but also be very proud of where you have achieved that qualification. No one gets to graduation without a lot of hard work, late nights, sacrifices, and above all, determination. This dedication has helped you become what you want to be. As a graduate of this great university, you're now heading into a world that's experiencing great change and many challenges. We hope that we have equipped you all as graduates well to face those challenges. I doubt any of you will be here today without the support of your friends, your partners, your parents, and your other network of supporters, many of whom are here in this great audience today. And I give a special welcome to all of you, and this is your day as well, because I'm sure without your moral and probably financial support, many of those here today will not have graduated. So on behalf of the graduates, I thank you all. CQUniversity has a responsibility to the communities which we serve to extend the frontiers of knowledge and also learn how to apply this new knowledge. Research to develop and create new knowledge is a critically important function of this university. Today we are awarding 8 doctorates. Sorry, is it 8? Yeah, it is 8 doctorates. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, 8. I didn't know whether I'd updated that figure. But I'm sure when you hear the citations that it will be read out by Professor Stanley later on, you'll realise the quality and the importance of that research undertaking here. For the graduates who are graduating today, I hope when you hear them that will encourage you to continue your learning journey with us here at CQUniversity. The journey our graduates take to get here today is not a journey they've taken alone. We've already mentioned the family and supporters, but also your graduation here has been guided and supported by our great staff. CQUniversity is not only the natural choice for great students, as you guys can obviously vouch for, it is also a place of choice for great staff, many of whom are on the stage with me here today. And they are here to witness the product of their dedication, their skill and their hard work. So on your behalf, I thank them because they are here to celebrate you're reaching a great milestone which they have dedicated their expertise and hard work towards. Graduations are both a beginning and an end. As you leave us here today, you are leaving one great institution, the Central Queensland University, but you are joining another, and that's the CQUniversity alumni. So please say farewell to your friends, your staff, the staff who have helped you along the way, but please stay in touch. Stay in touch with the university because we'd love to hear what you're doing, how you're doing it. This will not only help you, but it will also help your university. Finally, to our graduates, with your graduation today, you have just reached one milestone on your journey of learning. It is not the end of the journey. The university motto, up behind me here, Doctrina Perpetua, means continuous learning. Society and the careers and professions you have chosen to join will not only expect but will demand continuous learning. I issue a challenge to you all as you graduate today. You now have the tools with your qualification, so get out there and make the world what you want it to be. Enjoy this day, and as I said before, you will remember it for the rest of your day. Congratulations.
Thank you, Chancellor. I'd now like to invite our Vice-chancellor and President, Professor Nick Klomp, to deliver the opening address.
Good afternoon, distinguished guests, friends, family, staff, and most importantly, graduands. Welcome, one and all. I'd like to start by formally acknowledging the traditional custodians of the land that we stand on today, the Darumbal people, and recognise their elders, past and present. But I'd also like to recognise the emerging elders of the traditional custodians, the younger people whose generation will soon carry the important job of continuing more than 50,000 years of unbroken culture, language and custodianship into a changing and ever increasingly complex world. CQUniversity's footprint, as many of you will know, is hosted by more First Nations than any other university in Australia. Not only does this give us the responsibility to provide excellent teaching and research, perhaps more excitingly, we're in a position to learn from millennia of Indigenous wisdom, land management, leadership, succession planning, climate change, diplomacy. I make this opening point at this ceremony this afternoon not as part of a conventional, respectful opening acknowledgement of country, but actually as my main take-home message for all graduates here today, and that is never stop learning. Seek wisdom from wherever you can find it, and share what you know with others. As mentioned, your education journey doesn't end when you cross the stage here later today, transitioning from a graduand to a graduate. This graduation ceremony is the starting pistol. It's not the finish line. I know that many of you have already started to apply your learnings from CQUniversity and build on them while you put your qualification into practice in your workplaces and in your communities. You have already started asking harder and harder questions of yourself and of others and of the world, and with that, the real learning begins. As the Chancellor has mentioned, the reason why CQUniversity's motto, Doctrina Perpetua, forever learning, is so welcomed and so recognised by staff and students in the community is because CQUniversity understands how truly powerful and how transformational education can be, not just in the course of your degree, but over the course of your lifetime. Now, you'll probably already know and already thought about how your qualification here today will benefit you and open opportunities previously unavailable to you. Not only will it benefit you personally, but it'll also benefit your chosen industry and your community. We know that a graduate from CQUniversity is 10% more likely to walk into full-time employment than the national average among graduates from all other Australian universities. We know that CQUniversity's graduates are consistently ranked among the top universities for graduate starting salaries. We know that as a holder of a post-school qualification, you'll have more career choices in your lifetime, more lifetime career earnings, and overall, throughout your life, far exceeding the earning potential that you would have not have achieved had you not undertaken this qualification. And of course, we know that in your lifetime, your chosen profession or vocation will undergo enormous change. And your qualification means that you'll not only be able to adapt yourself, but you'll be able to influence that change yourself for the betterment of yourself, of your discipline, your industry, and of course, society. But this is the bit that you might not know. You might not know about the transformational power of the qualification you've achieved today and how it will affect generations yet to come. And this is the fascinating bit. Studies have shown that by crossing the stage here today, your children, your siblings, other relatives are now far more likely to attend universities themselves, and then their children even more so again. Just try to imagine for a minute the multiplication effect you've set in motion today in terms of lifelong benefits of earning potential, workforce contribution, career choice and satisfaction, society change, community prosperity that will now ripple down through the generations of your own family. Let that sink in for a second. With your qualification, you've not only opened doors for yourself, but you've almost certainly opened doors for others around you and behind you. Wow. I hope this is of some comfort to you as you sit there and reflect upon some of the sacrifices you have made to cross the stage here today. I know that some of you have probably made pretty significant financial sacrifices and family sacrifices and social sacrifices and probably many hours of sleep sacrificed as you completed your final assignments. I know your study journey was difficult. There are no easy qualifications to be handed out at CQUniversity, and of course I make no apologies for that. We expect more from our students, and that's why we invest so much in student support. But that's also why we produce some of the best graduates in the country. That's why you'll be in high demand. That's why CQUniversity, as the Chancellor just mentioned, is ranked in the top 2% of universities worldwide. And that's why you'll have such an impact in your workforce. And that's why your supporters in the crowd here today are so incredibly proud of you. To the mums and dads of our graduates, the husbands, the wives, the children, the wider family, the friends, a message to you all. Thank you. Thank you for supporting your loved one throughout their study journey. Thank you for celebrating the small victories with them along the way. Thank you for being there for them when they stumbled here or there. Thank you for the sacrifices you made in their study journey. To the teachers and lecturers and all the professional support staff of our students graduating today, and look how many there are in today's ceremony and in the audience. You have empowered people and you've transformed lives. You've contributed in no small way to making the world a better place. Please try to remember the optimism on display amongst our graduates today the next time you're drowning in emails, answering student inquiries or marking assignments at midnight. I thank you for your tireless service and dedication to our students, and I really hope that you enjoy today as much as our graduates will. To the community leaders, the industry leaders, and the employers in the audience, take note of the faces graduating today. These are your leaders of tomorrow. These are the ones who will build upon your own legacies. These faces are your succession plan, so nurture them. Share your wisdom with them, but learn from them too. You'll be pleasantly surprised how much they know already. And if I could return finally to our graduates for one final message. Enjoy today because you've earned it and you deserve it. But recognise the enormity of what happens next. You've been born into an age of unprecedented human potential. You have earned an education that your grandparents' generation could only have dreamt about. You have received a qualification from one of the best universities in the world, and as a result, you have opportunities open to you that are sadly not afforded to so many other people on this planet. Don't let that go to waste. Don't settle for mediocrity. The world needs you to step up and reach your full potential. But if you're sitting there and asking yourself, but how do I take this next step? I take you back to my opening point. Just never stop learning. Seek wisdom from wherever you can find it. Share what you know with others. Be bold, be brave, and above all else, be kind. And the world is yours to shape. Congratulations.
Thank you, Vice-Chancellor. I'd now like to invite our Provost, Professor Helen Huntley, OAM, to present the Alumni Award recipient.
Chancellor, CQUniversity takes great pride in the achievements our alumni are making in their world. Their accomplishments benefit both society and the university, advancing the common good and inspiring others. The annual Alumni Awards acknowledge and celebrate these achievements by our outstanding alumni in their professional field or community service activities. The Outstanding Alumnus of the Year Award is conferred in recognition of exceptional contribution to society and demonstrated achievement of excellence in a professional context. To receive the Outstanding Alumnus of the Year Award, I present Mr. Jason Titman. Jason is a successful innovator, leader, mentor, and serial company builder. Jason views his work life not as a career, but as a series of projects working with investors and founders to help companies scale and achieve their full potential. After graduating with the CQUniversity Bachelor of Business in 1991, Jason commenced his corporate career with KPMG as a computer and corporate auditor. He quickly established himself as a sought-after business leader and entrepreneur, leading the transformation and growth of several nationally awarded hotel and property redevelopments. Jason has been investing in and actively growing technology and professional services companies for the past 10 years and has been a key driver in companies that have created over $300 million in value for business partners, shareholders and founders. Jason also applies his exceptional business skills to community and philanthropic ventures and is the chair of the Mater Hospital Future Fund and the Moreton Bay Colleges Foundation, as well as sitting on other boards. He's also a keen adventurer, sportsperson, connoisseur of wine and art, and is kept very busy with his 4 children. I present Mr. Jason Titman. Chancellor, that concludes the presentation of the Alumni Award.
Thank you, Professor Huntley. I would now like to invite our newly conferred Outstanding Alumnus of the Year, Mr. Jason Titman, to deliver the occasional address.
Thank you, and good afternoon, Chancellor, Vice-chancellor, special guests, supporters and graduands. Let's go on a journey, I guess, this afternoon of how do you combine a successful university education with street smarts to become an entrepreneur. Hopefully I can share my thoughts and experiences with you in the next 2 hours. I'm joking. I think they've given me about 10 minutes to share 28 years since I graduated from CQU. It'll be a challenge, but let's give it a go. Even though I graduated from this university 28 years ago, I still feel a sense of pride and remember the hard work that it took to get my undergraduate degree. And coming back here this afternoon certainly brings back many of those feelings, and I appreciate the opportunity. Today I want to encourage you to celebrate and embrace yourselves as individuals and what it takes to get to this point in your life. And as the Chancellor and Vice-chancellor have also mentioned, to thank your parents, friends, family, teachers and lecturers who have all helped you get to this point in your life. And I want you to take away a few messages today that I want to speak about. One in particular, I think that what you've done to this point has been excellent and what you've learnt, but it's actually not going to be enough to get you to the next level. And I guess just ponder on that as we all need to. I have had a many and varied career, and it is probably best described as the career of an entrepreneur. I started some 28 years ago with KPMG as a computer and corporate auditor. I then moved into another firm in tax and management consulting. Then I got into the motor industry. A little while after that, I got with some business partners, some gentlemen, most of them are about 20 years older than me. They'd all actually left school, or 3 of them had left school at 13, but they were already multi-millionaires, very successful, and they were lucky that they sort of took me under their wing. And we set about renovating and doing a lot of property developments. A couple of our hotels, one best hotel in Australia at the time, and we went on to sell several of them to Wesfarmers, Woolworths and other listed companies. I then decided that I wanted a career change, as you do, and started to do something different. I started to invest in the technology industry. And I have invested in a number of startups. One of the ones that's consuming most of my time now is a company called Neato. We're being used in 14 countries. We have a couple of $1 billion going through our platform. Telstra invested in us a couple of years ago, and we're in the middle of closing some rounds with some US investors now. I'm also on several other boards and advising the Centre Group and Lend-Lease with their internal ventures arms as they start to build them out. I'm just quickly telling you this because as I move into a little bit of presentation of my thoughts, I guess it gives some context as to what my career has looked like to date. And it is impossible for us to live a life without setbacks. I know, I've had a few, but I guess at those times I've always liked to look at the words of some people who have been before me. Thomas Edison is one of those, and I like his saying where he says that I haven't failed, I've only found 10,000 ways that don't work, and I use that with my children a bit. And another one is Charlie Munger, and Charlie is the business partner of the famous Warren Buffett. And Charlie's, one of his famous sayings is that do not let your last failure determine your future. And I think some of those can be interesting to resonate. I also think that as a nation, we actually do need to embrace failure more than we do. Some countries, particularly the US, where I spend a bit of time, do a great job. They actually have a conference over there celebrating failure. But I am actually concerned that the pendulum might be swinging too far, particularly in the startup community, which is a community that I have a lot to do with. And I think that some founders think that it's okay to continually fail and lose investor money. And I'm actually not sure if I'm okay with that either. So let's go on a quick journey through 5 learnings that I wanted to share with you in my short time here, my 10 minutes or so. And if you're interested in any of them, I'll give you some quotes or areas that you can go and do some more research, because each of them has a story, but unfortunately in my time here, I don't have a lot of time to go through those. The first one I believe is, as graduates, you should follow your passion, not what is expected of you. And a quick story for me is that a good friend of mine started at me in KPMG, and she was a top graduate there. She went on then to BHP and climbed quickly through the accounting ranks. And then she decided that she wanted to be a travel consultant with Flight Centre. So within 12 months, she actually achieved their $1 million sales club. She clearly was outstanding. But 12 months after that, she'd had a mental breakdown and spent a number of years in hospitalisation. All largely because of the expectations that her parents put on her around the fact that they sacrificed a lot to give her an accounting degree and get her through, and she was giving it all up and not being successful in their mind. So pretty sad, I think, but I'm pleased to say that today she's married, got a family, successful career, and she's certainly rebonded with her parents. But it's interesting because I often have a lot of people come to me and say, I've studied a particular discipline or I've done something, a particular qualification, but I actually don't want to pursue it anymore. And they're feeling pressure from those around them that they should do what they studied as opposed to where their passion is. So I guess a thought that I have in that area. Another one, my number 2, is don't believe everything you hear and only half of what you see. And the late Mr. Hamilton, from a chemistry teacher of mine from up the road at Glenmore where I studied, said those wise words of wisdom. And I'll use an example here of a young man from London, Umar Butler, and The Shed. I'm not sure if any of you have heard of him. An interesting story. Several years ago, he put his restaurant on TripAdvisor, and it started at 18,173. And over the next 9 months, he built it to number 1 in London, the number 1 restaurant on TripAdvisor. The only problem is he never had a restaurant. It was actually a shed. He never served any meals. Part of the catch was that he made people think that it was a 6-month waiting list to get in, so that's how he kind of deferred it, and they eventually caught up with him. But an interesting story. Another one, which is, and you know, it's so recent, another one is the $1 billion whale. I'm not sure how many of you are familiar with that one. It's a very recent $9 billion fraud that happened between 2011 and 2014. And the person responsible for that, there's actually a court case going on now in Malaysia involving their former Prime Minister, but it's all around the Malaysian government, the United Arab Emirates Sovereign Fund, Goldman Sachs, Wall Street and Hollywood were all duped. Quite interesting for $9 billion, so I'd implore you to read that one as well. My third point is embrace every job like it's your last. We are all going to have multiple jobs, careers, and potentially businesses that we invest in our lifetime. And my analogy is that it's a little bit similar to learning a second language. Learning that second language can actually be quite challenging, but learning the third and fourth gets easier and easier for any of you who have done that. It's to do with the synapses in the brain, amongst other things. My point is, there's a bit of a model that I've found, and it can help you accelerate your career or accelerate the success of any businesses you get into. That is about understanding the product, deeply understanding the product, or deeply understanding the service that you're trying to sell. Then work out who are the movers and shakers in the industry, what makes them successful, what businesses within that industry are making money, and what ones are losing money, and start to network and understand it. I think my early life at KPMG really helped with that, and as a result, I think it stood me in good stead with many of the decisions that I've made along the way. And as I say, it is a bit of a model that I think is much easier to repeat each time. My fourth one is know when to hold them and know when to fold them. And I've got a couple of examples here. In my experience, it takes almost as much effort to build a $10 million company as it does a $100 million company. And also in my philanthropic experience, it takes almost as much effort to ask somebody and to successfully get a $10,000 donation as it does a $100,000 or $1 million donation. So I guess I sort of say, which would you prefer to focus on? But the other one around this topic is the law of escalating commitment. And I've had a lot of experience around this. The law of escalating commitment for any of those who've studied economics and business. And it's very much about opportunity cost. We can all probably make our businesses work. It's more about businesses than a job, but it's still the same. What is the opportunity cost of continuing to invest in this business, money and time, if it's going to take too long to become successful? Should you sell it, move on to something else and become successful in that area? And I think when you're in the depths of those decisions, it can actually be quite hard to make that call. The fifth one is, if you don't want to make the news and you don't want to be trending on Twitter, then don't do it. These are some famous words from the late Rod Wiley, who was a senior partner in my time at KPMG. And I think, be it insider trading, an affair, sexual misconduct or fraud, someone is eventually going to find out. There's even a website out there now, for those of you who are interested, Wayback Machine, and it has over 376 billion websites catalogued, growing daily by the second. So your website from 5 years ago that you think might have made some mistruths that you were stating can actually be found. I can go back, many people can go back through this website and we can find it, even though it's not out on the front web. And there's even the rise of the funeral intruder these days. So there really is no escaping what you do and that upholding of your reputation. So my last thoughts for you to ponder and discuss over your celebratory drinks this evening are that I believe ego is a limiting factor with many entrepreneurs. Many founders and entrepreneurs, I think, and we've seen plenty of examples of that, it is a limiting factor for them. I think we all have a responsibility as graduates and as the university to help continue with the global transferability of qualifications. We've come a long way in my 28 years, but I still see a lot of examples of the global transferability of university qualifications not accepted around the world, and here in Australia for that matter. I think there's also a fine line between achieving balance in your life, if that's what's important to you, and achieving exceptional behaviour. That's the reality of it, and you've got to make that decision yourself. And I believe that the greatest gift you can give your children is resilience, confidence, followed by a good education. So thank you for your time. Thank you to CQU for awarding me the 2019 Alumnus of the Year and allowing me to continue to be part of your family and your community. Once again, congratulations to all graduands. Carpe diem.
Thank you, Jason. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm pleased to present a musical performance by Mrs. Anne Mitchell and the Mount Archers School Year 4 to 6 Choir. The children are here today represent only 1/4 of the Mount Archers School's senior choir who perform at the Rockhampton Eisteddfod in May. Each year for the last 30 years, Mount Archers School has entered 3 or 4 choirs in this competition, with remarkable success. Mrs. Anne Mitchell is the conductor and has worked as the school music teacher for the last 3 decades. Please welcome Mrs. Anne Mitchell and the Mount Archers State School Year 4 to 6 Choir to the stage.
Shine your light. It's today and the world is waiting.
Thank you, Mrs Mitchell and the Mount Archer State School Year 4 to 6 Choir. I would now like to call upon the Vice-Chancellor and President, Professor Nick Klomp, to present the graduates.
Will all graduates please stand? Chancellor, as Vice-Chancellor and President, I certify to you and to Council these graduates standing before you here today have fulfilled the requirements prescribed by the University, and I ask that you present them with their respective awards.
Thank you, Vice-Chancellor. In the name of the Council of the Central Queensland University and by my authority as Chancellor, I am pleased to present you all with your awards. Can everyone please honour them, our newest graduates, with your applause.
Will all graduates please be seated?
Chancellor, I call upon the Dean of School for Business and Law, Professor Lee D'Amelia, to present the graduates from both undergraduate and postgraduate programs.
Chancellor, I present to you graduates from undergraduate and postgraduate courses. Certificate 3 in Business, Helena K. Kidd. Certificate 3 in Community Services, Mary Ann Vagari. Certificate 3 in Education Support, Colleen Ann West. Certificate 3 in Individual Support, Ageing, Pamela Jacqueline Gersing. Diploma of Arts, Nathan Sean O'Connor. Diploma of Business, Nairee Louise Johnson. Diploma of Information and Communication Technology, Siobhan Cruz Nand. Diploma of Nursing, Catherine Louise Baxter. Hayley Amber Coyne. Ebony Jane Evans. Kylie Elizabeth McAllister. Georgia Claire McDonough. Amy Louise Moore. Hayden James Patterson. Diploma of Nursing, this graduate will also receive a cultural sash, Katie Cherie Sherwood. Laura Ashley Tyson. Catherine Jeanette Watson. Casey Shea Wilson. Associate Degree of Education, Elaine LaRue. Associate Degree of Human Services, Sonny Rees Mamu. Associate Degree of Learning Management, this graduate will also receive a cultural sash, Thomasina Faye Hill. Bachelor of Accounting, Esther Mary Serson. Anthony Michael Hudson. Anna Jane Ellen McPhee. Samantha Jane O'Brien. Bachelor of Accounting with Distinction, Brianna May Chortler. Tegan Jansen. Bachelor of Arts, Jessa Magasis. Bachelor of Arts with Distinction, Taylor Louise Battersby. Bachelor of Business, Human Resource Management and Accounting, Danielle Hill. Bachelor of Business, Human Resource Management, Rachel Jane Kathleen Easterway. Next is the IT guy, Bachelor of Business Management, Cooper Braden Diplock. Bachelor of Business Management with Distinction, Nicole Louise Seeds. Bachelor of Business Management and Human Resource Management, Iani Kondilis. Melinda Peter McGuinness. Gemma Page Watts. Bachelor of Business Management and Human Resource Management with distinction, Rebecca Marie Aegis. Bachelor of Business Management and Marketing, Tyler John Barnes. Rebecca Grace Collins. Bachelor of Business Marketing, Madeline Rose Kovac. Bachelor of Business Public Relations, this student will also receive a cultural sash, Tiana Del Ramsamy. Bachelor of Digital Media, Justarina Memye Areola. Jasmine Marie Ann Burnham. Christopher Finlay. Bachelor of Digital Media with distinction, Lauren Ray Gull. Bachelor of Education, Early Childhood, Madison Williams. Bachelor of Education, Secondary, Josephine Taylor Butel. Bachelor of Exercise and Sport Sciences, Mitchell Bader Dare. Regina Angela Scott. Bachelor of Exercise and Sport Sciences with distinction, Kate Estelle Yamarolis. Bachelor of Hospitality Management, Ying Sun. Bachelor of Information Technology, Application Development with distinction, Thomas Michael Malloy. Bachelor of Information Technology, Co-op, Application Development with Distinction, Joel Daniel Smith. Bachelor of Information Technology, Co-op, Network Security, Patrick Colin Hay. Clinton Reese Stock. Bachelor of Information Technology, Network Security, Douglas James Lindley. Bachelor of Laws, Alexandra Caitlin Edmonds. Marjorie Foley. Chloe Katrie Greening. Zachary Thomas McGrath. Lachlan Graham Robertson. Bachelor of Laws with Distinction, Liana May Pritchard. Bachelor of Medical Science Pathology, Carly Hebard. Bachelor of Midwifery Graduate Entry, Brooke Louise Barnes. Melissa Cowley. Isabella Bronte Date. Alison Elizabeth Foskett. Bachelor of Midwifery Graduate Entry with Distinction, Amber J. Collins. Jodie Lee Noland. Hayden Leonard Wilson. Tara Elise Wilson. Bachelor of Occupational Health and Safety, Jyla Josephet Mayer. Bachelor of Paramedic Science, Matthew Aaron Tenza. Bachelor of Professional Communication, Journalism, Samantha Hughes. Bachelor of Property, Christy Lee Greenhull. Rory Redmond Devereux O'Connor. Catherine Celia Stickley. Bachelor of Psychological Sciences, Michael Gregory Cave. Sophie Elizabeth Howard. Bachelor of Science, Analytical and Molecular Sciences, Cecil Graysan Diorico. Bachelor of Science, Applied Biology with Distinction, Shannon Kyle Crozier. Bachelor of Science, Applied Chemistry with Distinction, and this graduate will receive a cultural sash, Shay Taylor Ma. Bachelor of Science, Ecology and Conservation Biology with Distinction, Glenn Leslie McMahon. Sorry, we're having a little chat on the side. Bachelor of Accounting, Bachelor of Business, Human Resource Management with Distinction, Georgia May Walker. Bachelor of Accounting, Bachelor of Business Management, Chantel Lynette Close. Bachelor of Construction Management Honours, Timothy David Cross. Bachelor of Engineering Honours Civil, Josh Thomas Boyton. Daniel Mark Harris. Joshua Timothy Hines. Angus Stewart Hughes. Daniel Patrick Leach. Chandima Nilusha Kumari Madagadara Arachigi. Andrea Catherine Perner. Amit Manek Raniga. James Matthew Redman. Bradley James Sharia. Kyra Willisey. Bachelor of Engineering Honours Electrical, Benjamin Michael Aldridge. Shay Ann Blanchfield. John Paul Andreas Jacobs. Jordan Yunfei Lau. Lachlan John Miller. John David Suban Robinson. Bachelor of Engineering Honours Mechanical, Ben Fraser Bruce. Axel John Cutts. Nicholas John Hayden. Alexander Kinsella. Lachlan James Milner. Miyande Narinda. Christopher Jacob Pitcher. Bachelor of Occupational Therapy Honours, Kelly Carolyn Stevens. Bachelor of Science with Honours, Bridget Barnes. Graduate Certificate in Asset and Maintenance Management with distinction, Kelly Roy Leeson. Graduate Certificate in Nursing Re-Entry, Lisa Jane Grant Palleray. Graduate Diploma of Domestic and Family Violence Practice, Adetola Luwamisi Adepoyu. Charity Mudumu Motombo. Master of Advanced Safety Science Practice, Innocent Matayenga. Master of Asset and Maintenance Management, Kelvin Masoka. Master of Business Management Marketing, Zheng Lai. Master of Information Systems, Amandeep Kaur. Master of Information Technology, Networks and Information Security, Sudhir Gurusetti. Shukaib Ifkata. Dik Yong Sun. Sandeep Kumar Vanam. Master of Professional Accounting, Sagun Raul. Master of Project Management, Taiwan Bayaskalan. Kinley Dorji. Master of Sustainable Tourism Management, Rani Christie Casilano. Master of Teaching, Madonna Louise Jones. Sonia Marie McCall. Kirsty Leanne Swindles. Master of Teaching Primary with Distinction, Brooke Helen Geary. And off she goes. Melinda Ann Lane. Bryce Anthony Younger. Eleanor Grace Ball. Josiah Leslie Drain. Naomi Gill. Laura Stanfield. Lucky last, Master of Teaching Secondary with Distinction, Hayley Louise Hutchings. Chancellor, that concludes the presentation of graduates from undergraduate and postgraduate courses.
Thank you, Professor D'Amelia. I now invite our Deputy Vice-Chancellor of Research, Professor Grant Stanley, to present the doctoral graduates.
Thanks, Mel. Chancellor, I have the honour to present to you the following doctoral graduates. These candidates have undertaken a program of supervised research and study that has made a significant original contribution to knowledge. This qualification is a highly regarded achievement where the candidates have demonstrated specialised knowledge through thesis dissertation. Doctoral programs may be undertaken in many disciplines, and only high calibre graduates who have demonstrated academic merit may obtain entry to this award. Research is an integral part of CQUniversity Australia's purpose. We have a strong commitment to the conduct of cutting-edge research in new areas that challenge the boundaries of the traditional disciplines to provide distinctive research solutions with regional, national and international benefit. I present Shah Sanjar Nafis Ahmad for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. I would like to first acknowledge that Shah's parents and siblings have travelled from Bangladesh to join us today. Shah's thesis title is Analysis of a Very Low Tar Mass Wagon Concept for Intermodal Freight. In the railway industry, heavier self-weight of a wagon reduces payload capacity and increases energy consumption. This thesis explored whether it would be possible to design a lighter and longer wagon within the vehicle acceptance criteria. Dynamics and benefits of the developed wagon concept were analysed. Shah's principal supervisor was Professor Colin Cole and associate supervisor was Professor Maxim Spirigan. I present Dr. Shah Sanjar Nafis Ahmad. I present Tay Anderson for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. Tay's thesis title is Strategic Project Management for Product Innovation. The research identified how strategic project management practices drive improvement in the product innovation processes and deliver business results for large innovative firms in Denmark. The research created a theoretical foundation for strategic project management and described its practices. The research findings have direct implications for project managers, senior executives and educational providers. TAY's principal supervisor was Professor Ross Chapman and associate supervisor was Professor Lee D'Amelia. I present Dr. Tay Anderson. I present Carolyn Daniels for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. Carolyn's thesis title is Exploring Australian Women's Career Transitions, a critical constructivist grounded theory study. Qualitative research exploring Australian women's career transitions revealed emergent social justice issues, prompting development of a new methodology, critical constructivist grounded theory. The framework included systematic analyses of Australia's social, political, cultural, gender, structural and historical values, revealing neoliberalism, capitalism and patriarchy persists as barriers to equity for Australian women. Caroline's principal supervisor was Dr. Kylie Riddell and associate supervisor was Dr. Wendy Hillman. I present Dr. Caroline Rosemary Daniels. I present Melinda May Mann for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. I'd like to acknowledge that Melinda is the first Darumbal person to graduate from CQUniversity with a PhD and is very proud to be graduating on Darumbal country. Melinda will also be receiving a cultural sash. Melinda's thesis title is Speaking Up and Speaking Back to High School and Post-School Transition Experiences. An indigenised narratology exploring education for the life success of young Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people living on Darumbal country. This thesis explains the continuation of ancient teaching and learning practices occurring on the lands of Darumbal people through the lives of 10 young Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people and how high school experiences are leveraged for effective transition into family and community roles as young leaders. Melinda's principal supervisor was Professor Denise Wood, AM, and associate supervisors were Dr. Teresa Moore and Dr. Simon Burgess. I present Dr. Melinda May Mann. I present Umi Mumtahina for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. I'd like to acknowledge Umi's parents who have travelled from Bangladesh to be here with us today. Umi's thesis title is High Performance DC-DC Converters for Isolated Low Voltage Photovoltaic Modules. The thesis examined the optimisation of DC-DC converter topologies for individual solar modules to adjust their operating voltage. An isolated converter allows each module to operate at its maximum power point, improving the overall energy yield. Umi's principal supervisor was Professor Peter Wolfs, and associate supervisor was Dr. Sanath Alakahun. I present Dr. Umi Mumtahina. I present Christopher John O'Neill for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. Christopher's thesis title is The Social Context of Mating and Parental Behaviour of Beef Cattle in Northern Australia, using ultra-high frequency telemetry to quantify the contact activity. Cattle behaviour was studied using ultra-high frequency proximity loggers. The use of linear and multivariate models allowed for identification of significant social, reproductive and parental structures within 2 breeds of rangeland beef cattle. The research informs beef producers on how they can use cattle behaviour to manage herds more productively. Christopher's principal supervisor was Professor Dave Swain, and associate supervisors were Associate Professor Daniel Cozzolino, Dr. Kim Patterson and Dr. Jim Kinder from Ohio State University. I present Dr. Christopher John O'Neill. I present Abu Shadat Muhammad Sayem for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. I would like to acknowledge that Sayem and Umi, who just graduated with her PhD, are husband and wife, and their 7-day-old daughter is in the audience today. Sayem's thesis title is Experimental Study of Electrostatic Precipitator of a Coal-Based Power Plant to Improve Performance by Capturing Finer Particles. This thesis investigated the ability of electrostatic precipitators to capture micro-sized particulate matter produced during the coal-fired power generation. The findings are expected to assist in lowering environmental emissions and therefore increasing the sustainability of coal-fired power plants. Abu's principal supervisor was Professor Masood Khan, and associate supervisors were Associate Professor Muhammad Razul, Professor Peter Wolfs, and Dr. Nur Muhammad Saeed Hassan. I present Dr. Abu Shadat Muhammad Sayem. I present Rolf Shaglot for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. Rolf's thesis title is Modelling Koala Roadkill Black Spots. This research analysed wildlife carer data from Ballarat, Victoria, to confirm vehicle strikes as a major threat to long-term survival of koalas. Highway roadkills were mapped to determine black spots. Modelling based on radio tracking and fine-scale vegetation mapping showed that the composition, structure and spatial arrangement of habitat were the greatest contributors to koala deaths. Rolf's principal supervisor was Dr. Alistair Meltzer and associate supervisor was Dr. Marie Keatley. I present Dr. Rolf Schlaglot. Chancellor, that concludes the presentation of doctoral graduates.
Thank you, Professor Stanley. I will now invite Professor Helen Huntley, OAM, to present the School of Education and the Arts medalist.
Chancellor, I'm pleased to present the recipient of the 2018 School of Education and the Arts Medal. School medals are awarded to the graduating student with the highest academic achievement in a bachelor's degree course in the Tertiary Education Division. To be eligible for a school medal, graduates must have achieved a distinction level in a 3-year degree course or a first-class honours level in a 4-year course. To receive the School of Education and the Arts School Medal, who graduated last year with a Bachelor of Digital Media with distinction, I present Miss Elisha Haberman. Chancellor, that concludes the presentation of the School of Education and the Arts medalists. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Huntley. I would now like to call upon Ms Kim Harrington, Associate Vice-Chancellor, to present the Associate Vice-Chancellor's Rockhampton Region Medal.
Chancellor, I am pleased to present the recipient of the Associate Vice-Chancellor's Rockhampton Region Medal. This medal recognises a student who has demonstrated a combination of the following: a strong commitment to their studies, the ability to respond to challenges, a capacity to act as mentors to other students, outstanding potential for significant leadership in their future careers, clear commitment to the value of cultural diversity, and creative talent and enterprise. To receive an Associate Vice-Chancellor's Rockhampton Regional Medal, who today is graduating with a Bachelor of Engineering Honours, Civil, and a Diploma of Professional Practice, Co-op Engineering, I present Mr Angus Hughes. Chancellor, that concludes the presentation of the Associate Vice-Chancellor's Rockhampton Region Medal.
Thank you, Ms Harrington. I now call on Ms Madeline Kovac to deliver the response by the graduates' representative.
Good afternoon, Chancellor, Vice-Chancellor, honoured guests, staff, graduates, friends and family. I'd firstly like to thank Jason Titman for his inspiring words here today. I think we all took a little something out of it. Please accept this small gift on behalf of CQUniversity. My name is Madeline Kovac, and today I am graduating with the Bachelor of Business. I'm honoured to be representing the graduates here today, and like most of you, I'm so happy to say that we finally made it. I was asked to reflect on my journey with CQUniversity, which I encourage all of you to do today. Looking back at the beginning of my degree, I was nervous, not knowing what to expect of university. But as my degree went on, the nerves wore off and excitement quickly grew. I started making new friends and study groups, getting to know my lecturers, and most importantly, my love for coffee really took off. One of my favourite parts about CQUniversity is our lecturers, staff, and the sense of community that they have created. I can say that I never felt like just a number. I was always made to feel supported and nurtured throughout my journey, and I'll be forever grateful for that. Some of you may be thinking, where to next? Well, let me remind you that it doesn't end here. While we close the door to this chapter of our lives, the next one opens. We all get to take the valuable knowledge, skills, and ambition that we've learnt throughout our courses and show them off in our careers. I've been lucky enough to secure a job prior to graduating that I had my eye on for some time. I currently work in the marketing department for CQUniversity, where I get to share my university journey with prospective students and help them choose the university that's right for them. I'm confident that all of the graduating students here today will succeed in their careers and achieve great things. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank, on behalf of my fellow graduates, our lecturers and CQUniversity staff for their ongoing encouragement and support throughout all of our time here at CQUniversity. We also say a massive thank you to our family, friends and partners for their sacrifices and ongoing support, without which many of us may not be standing here today. The best way that we can repay you is to succeed and conquer all of our future endeavours, and I have no doubt that all of the graduates here today will do just that. We can all be extremely proud of what we have achieved. I know I am. Take this opportunity to truly celebrate this incredible milestone with your family and friends, and take pride in the tremendous achievements that you will walk out of here with today. Thank you.
Thank you, Madeline. I will now ask the Chancellor to deliver the charge to graduates.
Thanks, Mel, and thank you, Madeline. Very, very good. Can I ask all graduates, please, now to stand? A lot of what we do at university graduations is all part of centuries-old traditions. The regalia we wear, the procession, the order of proceedings, the conferral in front of the community are all part of those traditions. As newly conferred graduates of CQUniversity, it's at this stage we conduct the turning of the tassel ceremony. This is a long-standing university tradition that officially symbolises your transition from graduand to graduate. So now please move the tassel from the right side of your mortarboard to the left. And for the engineers, that's this one. I charge you as graduates of CQUniversity Australia to maintain a commitment to lifelong learning, to strive for truth, integrity and compassion, to contribute to your chosen profession, and by the application of your abilities, support and nurture the communities of which you are part. May your awards bring honour to your university, to your chosen profession, but most importantly, to yourself. I wish you all very well for the future. Congratulations. And you may now all be seated. Thank you.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, that concludes the ceremony. And on behalf of the Chancellor and staff from CQUniversity Rockhampton, I would like to thank you all for attending. And I'd like to invite you to join us for refreshments on the Eastern Lawn. I'll ask you to please stand while the official party retires.
Go ahead. Enjoy this moment. It's not every day you graduate. You've earned this.
Lectures, assignments, labs, pracs, the late nights and so many 2-minute noodle meals.
And the breakthroughs and triumphs that made it all worth it.
Yes, your course is over, but for you and CQUniversity, something new awaits.
Welcome to CQUniversity Alumni. The skills and knowledge you've gathered at CQ Uni will go with you into your next phase and beyond.
As a graduate of CQ Uni, you're automatically an alumni member. And with more than 100,000 graduates around the world, you'll find our alumni community there each step of the way.
Leading, innovating, caring, building. Contributing to their communities and industries.
With your new TAFE university qualification, whatever you choose to do, or wherever you go, your CQ Uni alumni community is here to help you.
Through mentoring from experienced graduates in your field.
With career guidance, short courses and professional development, online and in person.
And with inspiration through B Magazine and Mortarboard, your alumni e-newsletter.
We're proud to have played a role in shaping your future and hope you can continue to play an important part in shaping ours.
By volunteering.
By supporting current students.
By hosting interns.
Or by being a mentor.
Whether you choose to access our support or support the students following in your footsteps, there are so many reasons to be involved.
But right now, the best thing you can do is choose to stay connected. Keep your contact details up to date so you don't miss out on opportunities and events.
At enrolment, you joined the CQ Uni student cohort. Now you've graduated.
Welcome to your CQ Uni alumni community.